Hi guys, so today we'll do a quick recap on this trade and how that probably wasn't the best trade. Let's look at this higher time frame. So as you guys can see, we're very oversold right now, but it is obviously bearish. I sort of had like a bias that we will probably retrace because there's all these fair value gaps right here that are waiting to be filled, and also because we just taken out this higher time frame sell side liquidity. Now going to the 4 hour, this whole range right here, you'll see that it kind of lines up with that daily fair value gap right there. If you go back to the daily, it lines up pretty perfectly. So that's why I thought this was a pretty strong draw, because we have to fill this fair value gap and also balance this whole entire range. Like, it was very inefficiently delivered. Going down to the 4 hour, there's not much else. We're in this 4 hour bearish fair value gap right now, and then going down to the 1 hour, we're also in a bearish 1 hour fair value gap. We swept Asian session highs as well. So we took out Asian session highs, went into a 1 hour and 4 hour fair value gap, and then as we go down to the 5 minute, got a market structure shift right here, and we also got multiple 5 minute fair value gaps. So when it went to this fair value gap, which is the one that's above this 5 minute equilibrium, this is the only fair value gap that's above equilibrium, so it makes it a little bit better for risk to reward. So after it tapped into that 5 minute fair value gap, we got a 1 minute fair value gap right here, and I entered when it tapped into that 1 minute fair value gap. Basically, I had my stops just around there, targeting that Asian session low right there. Again, this was not a bad trade, but at the same time, it's not the best trade. I had an unsure bias because my bias was more bullish, but at the same time, there was no higher time frame PD arrays to assure that bullish bias. So all the PD arrays and all the price action was sort of bearish. So that's why I ended up taking a bearish trade, but sort of lacked confidence. So that's why it wasn't a great trade. It was a loss anyways because it was just consolidating due to news. Even if I have put my stop loss at this high, I still would have gotten stopped out here because it was just chopping around, and I probably wouldn't have held through news anyways because I don't usually hold through news. That's the reason why it was a bad trade, just because of the fact that I didn't have a clear bias, not really because I lost or anything. Even if I won this trade, it would have still been a bad trade because the approach wasn't right. So a way that you can battle with this is just every single time that you're having trades like this, write down your thoughts. I had my thoughts here, but I've already written it in my journal, so you can just go to the text here and just start typing down every single thought that you're having as you're taking the trade and as you're looking at this right now. Because I remember my thoughts as it was going down. I was like, I have a bullish bias, so I really wanted to create some sort of bullish fair value gap right here and take out some sort of low, like these lows. I wanted it to sort of take out these lows and enter into this order block, but it didn't do that. It just went down and retraced into this, so I saw my model forming as a bearish trade instead. So I started looking for sell ideas. So when I saw these two confirmations, I took the short, even though my bias was more bullish. But at the same time, there was also no higher time frame POIs to validate that bullish bias. It was kind of a mess, kind of, honestly. What I should have done is just, I shouldn't have taken any trades. I should have just observed. Like I've said in previous videos, only take trades that you're confident in, and only take trades that you actually 100% can see and understand why it's happening. Just write down your thoughts. That would be my advice for this video. I also want to say, a lot of times in these videos, I actually repeat myself a lot in terms of psychology and in terms of the lessons that I've learned. If you guys get sick of it, just understand that the reason why I say this is because even if I say the lessons that I've learned, it's not like I'm just gonna listen to it once and I'll just never make that mistake ever again. Like I've said in the previous video about trusting the process, this is a process, and as long as you're making the mistake less and less and less, eventually you'll probably not make that mistake again. Eventually you get better, and eventually that's how you get profitable, but it's a bit unrealistic for you to expect yourself to just say a lesson that you've learned and just never make that mistake ever again. But a lot of times like this, your brain literally will trick you and to make you think that you should take the trade. Learn to just journal down your thoughts and recognize those thought patterns, so that next time whenever your brain is starting to trick you again, or whenever you are starting to create a false bias like this again, you can sort of allow yourself to just take a step back and to just analyze your thoughts. Even though I repeat what I say, it's kind of like, just think of it like training at the gym or something. A lot of the movements that you do at the gym is the same, but it's only by repeating those movements is how you build muscle, right? By constantly working on that muscle. I'm working on my sort of like psychological training by just continuously repeating the lessons and just continuously saying it out and telling you guys that this is where I went wrong, and this is what I've learned, and this is what I need to do, and this is what I should do, and this is what I put in my journal as well. Just constantly repeat to yourself what you should do and what you should not do, even if it's the same thing. There's no shame in continuously telling yourself the same lesson, but understand that you should be learning from it, and understand that you should be making the mistakes less and less, and try to always recognize what you're thinking and to think about what you're thinking, so that you're kind of thinking about your thoughts in third person. That's how it's easier to recognize mistakes like this. See you guys in the next video, and thank you guys for watching. Remember to like and subscribe. Bye.